We drink more.
That's all kinds of messed up. Hi, everybody. Give me a second while I fix that. I'm gonna have to turn off the bear because the bear's screwing everything up on the thing. So
we are in hell.
We are in hell.
Hear that, Ron?
Hey,
Bears.
There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Sorry, we're running. We are running a lot of late because everyone was having technical glitches tonight. It was a symphony of errors. Anyway.
A symphony of destruction. Megadeth.
Or a comedy of errors. One of those two.
One of the two. A thing can be two things.
Hey!
Hey-o! Anyway, so welcome, everybody. We are here.
Yes.
Couple announcements.
Yes.
One major announcement. Next Friday, live session in person, sitting around a table. Yay.
Stream Daddy Studios.
And
our DM isn't sweating bullets about it at all.
No, not at all. My 3D printer's been running overtime for the past, just 2 weeks.
Just the sheer amount of stuff you're making has me so excited.
Yeah.
It's gotta be good.
I'm going to be spending all next week painting, so that'll be fun. So, anyway, we are live now on the youtube.com/@thosenatural1s, twitch.tv/thosenatural1s, Kick, Trovo, and if you haven't, like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and the like. Like and subscribe. I think that's everything. Hey, Sam, what happened? Tell everybody what happened last week, including Lindsay, because she wasn't here.
So last week, it was fine. The party, we continued our battle within the town, trying to make our way to the dock. More demons arrived, followed by some horned devils. A long fighting retreat occurred as more heavy footfalls were heard in the distance. We made it to the dock, and we did see a boat waiting. The ferryman seemed to ignore us until Rhett was able to persuade him to allow us on the boat. The remaining demons were barred from pursuing us after we had gotten onto the boat, and because they weren't allowed to interfere with boat business. And we ended the session as the journey on the river Styx began.
Yeah, so good job, Rhett. Even though you weren't there, you were still clutch.
You guys, I am doing such a great job. You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for that. So, as you guys pulled away from the dock, you heard that kind of emaciated, not quite skeletal, more mummified figure kind of whisper into the air just the word "dis" as seemingly the entire tide shifted in the river, and he took the boat around and started going back the way he came. As you travel along this flowing, dark water, cutting through these hellish landscapes, you see, looking down in the river, you see the occasional, what looks like a face, hands pressing against the surface tension, almost trying to break out. You see the water itself kind of bulge, but the surface never breaks. Your ferryman is stoic, silent, standing at the back of the boat, holding his pole. Torchlight at the tip. As the six of you sit silently as this boat continues through the 5th layer of hell. I'm sorry, the 7th layer of hell. Which layer of hell? Maladramini, the 7th layer of hell.
It's just like, which hell is it?
Which hell are you in again? So as you voyage, what are you doing?
Well, we're all pretty
taking a
beat
short
up.
rest.
Drinking.
I will be taking a short rest if it is possible.
You feel pretty safe on this boat that you could take a
I
rest.
have 1 hit point. I should also do that.
You have 1 hit point?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
It was
forgot because you
raised.
nat 20'd your death save. I forgot about that.
Yes. And then I. Heck.
Then you
Really?
fucked
Let
all the
me
way
heal you
off.
some.
Go that way. Go that. No.
I
Does,
enjoy Red Song
any-
of Rest.
Anybody need to keep watch or anything?
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's a short rest. You're not sleeping, so it's not really something that you
Yeah,
need
do
to
you
keep
want me
watch.
to do
Okay.
Song of Rest?
I think it automatically does it.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, it does. That's fun. Enjoy yourselves, everybody. Enjoy.
Enjoy all the sound of the hit dice rolling.
Enjoy.
Rolling, rolling, rolling. Keep
Oh, do
those
I even
hit
really
dice
need to do
rolling.
this? I still have all my hit points.
Yeah, I don't think you got hit at all last turn or last game.
Aw, thanks, guys. Oh, but I'd recover spells, right? So I should probably do it.
No, you don't recover spells on a short rest.
Oh,
Only me.
Yeah.
well, I didn't really drink.
And Gwen. Oh wait, no, she
something.
doesn't.
I can't tell because of all the damn dice.
It's so many hit dice.
So many hit dice. Holy shit. I didn't realize that you guys got that fucked.
Really?
I thought
Because
I
we
was
did.
cursed for a second.
Yeah, I felt pretty aware.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So
7 of my 8.
during your short rest here, while you were traveling along this river with these floating entities trying to break through the surface.
I feel like
Odd.
you're doing freestyle.
Yeah, kind of. Summer backstroking, you know.
I think one of them is, yeah, the guy on the top left, I think he's backstroking.
Yeah. So, oddly silent around you. There's no sound of wind, no real sound of water. You hear a slight, very, very, very faint lapping on the bow of the boat. But no noise. It's almost unsettling how silent it is.
Can I use my shape water cantrip? I just want to test the waters and see if it changes the river color. Like, I just want to see if this river is affected by shape water.
Okay, so what exactly are you trying to do? Are you trying to, like, lift a spout, or what exactly are you trying to do? Is she frozen? I think she's frozen. Did we lose Sam?
She touched the
You
water.
may have.
She touched the
She's
water.
No.
She said she was going to
Rip.
change the color of the water, which is one of the things you can do with.
Oh, so
The
okay.
cantrip.
So let's go with trying to change the color of the water. So the rain reaches out and casts this cantrip next to the side of the boat, but you don't notice any change to the water. The water seems to stay the same.
It's unaffected.
We could not make undead Kool-Aid.
And
That was-
we couldn't freeze
That-
a bridge.
You can lead undead Kool-Aid, but you can't make them drink.
I assume our temporary HP is all gone now, right?
No, that stays until you long
Nope.
rest.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
And we
it's
all
real nice.
still
Oh,
have
Sam-
Hewlett Packard.
Sam's dog unplugged her router again, so she
Oh my
will be
God.
back in just a few.
She
Man,
DC'd
the
just like
ladies-
Warner
the ladies
Brothers.
are having some router issues, guys.
Dude,
Who let the
it's
dogs
bad
out?
today.
Who?
Ladies are like, we don't need no routers. Oh wait,
Oh wait,
But-
yes you do.
hold on.
Ooh.
That's exactly what you need. Ooh.
Well, while we wait, Shall we ask some questions of the Magic 8 Ball?
What would you all like to do while you are floating
I'm
along this
so
river?
excited for something that I have to show you on, like, in person, Chris, because I found something at my parents' house. I'm so excited to show you. It is a version of the Magic 8 Ball.
I'm excited.
All right.
Hey, speaking of
It has
Magic 8
different
Ball,
answers.
Ric
Speaking,
Flair just released a comic. issue
speaking
number
of
1,
staying on
titled
topic,
Magic 8 Ball.
speaking of staying on topic,
And we don't,
It's amazing.
We can't continue. This
Okay.
is premium banter content.
Sorry.
so
Is the ferryman doing anything in particular besides
he is
rowing?
standing stoic at the back of the boat, tip of the pole in the water, other side up near his face, a flame as a torchlight. Just kind of
Well, I
staring
could-
forward.
I could potentially speak to him, but do I have any background on him? Would I know if that's a bad idea?
You can attempt a history check or a religion check. No, history. Yeah, do it. Which?
Is he solid?
Yes, he's solid.
How do I make the screen stay open? There it goes. Didn't want to stay open. So history? you said?
History check. Yes.
All right, let's do it.
15. You're not that familiar with these creatures. You know of the ferrymen, but that's about it. You know that they travel the river Styx and ferry souls and occasionally fleshy bits. But that's the extent of your knowledge.
What on the boat? What's the cover band's name for all of the Styx songs that they play?
God damn it, Lindsay.
I mean, look at my face. This is a very, like, are they called twigs? Like, this is a very serious question.
God damn it,
The cover band is called Charon.
All right, I'll take a shot. I'll walk near to the ferryman and ask him in an infernal, how long will this journey take?
Without looking without looking at you, he just continues staring forward. Hold on 1 second. Let me double check something real quick. You don't. Are you said you're speaking infernal? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So no response verbally, but in your head you hear this kind of breathy, deep voice say, hold on, how many layers are you going through? 5 layers, so he says roughly 5 hours.
How, and Nick, how
1
much do
hour per.
Infernal, like, how much do I understand at this point? Like, with how much I studied.
You would understand a little bit, but he's not speaking out loud. He's speaking telepathically into
Okay, got it,
into
got it,
Orpheus's
okay.
head, and he says,
Okay.
"The travel across each layer will take about 1 hour each."
Thank you, ferryman. Is there any peril we should anticipate along the journey?
It should be safe.
I turn to the others and... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
The devils know not to interfere with the river.
Wise of them. I turn to the others and say in common tongue, is there anything you would like me to ask the ferryman? He says the journey will take roughly 5 hours, 1 per level. We shouldn't see any harm along the way.
Does that mean that it takes an hour for each level?
Yes.
That tracks.
I'm just gonna write down song requests and hand them to you. You can convey them to Twigs.
Ask him if we seem like tourists just immediately coming and taking the boat ride like everybody.
Is this a real request?
Suddenly you start hearing, "It's a small world."
Does he,
See.
Oh,
does he have like a white and
For
black
5
striped shirt on?
hours.
Yeah. 5 hours, small world. This really is hell.
But combined with like the old Pirates of the Caribbean ride,
Yes.
like before the movies came out.
Yes.
Like a
Oh
combination.
God.
I'm
Oh,
picturing more
no.
like the Willy Wonka ride, but for 5
Yes.
hours.
Can I
There's
try
no
that
way
shape
of
water cantrip
knowing.
now?
Yeah, oh yeah, you. So I
First
forgot
with
you LD'd there, but nothing happened.
Okay. Cool.
She seemed to freeze in place for several minutes.
Yeah.
It backfired.
So
The prison where we're going. Perhaps ask him how close the dock in Dis would be to that.
I don't think that's gonna tip
Okay.
him off at all.
Is that something that Orpheus
he's
will
not in charge of
already
this.
know?
Would I know where the docks are? And aren't distances intangible? Don't they move?
correct. Distance.
So I guess it wouldn't matter.
The city is
Son of a bitch.
constantly reshaping itself. So,
How,
yeah.
if it's constantly moving, how do we find our way?
Do they sell
Orpheus?
maps?
Would I know?
Please tell
Well,
me you're just like silently nodding. In
I don't know.
character.
One
I don't
of
know how many characters will be friendly enough to sell us a map.
And one of the things that you would remember is actually specifically in that dossier you had was no two maps are the same
Dossier.
because of the fact that it
That's
is
right.
constantly shifting.
You
There's
did
no,
tell me that.
no
I
two
love
maps
how
that are
douchey
the same.
word dossier is. and you're saying
It really
it so
does.
Casually.
It really is a really
Dossier.
douchey word.
You're like, I'm Nick, and I say words like dossier.
The dossier is in
Like
my
Cavassier,
attaché
but
case.
dossier.
Papier mache.
Copy.
Well,
machine.
isn't-
No. It's paper.
I
isn't
mean, I really
this-
want to know if, like, speaking of small world, it would be nice to know if there are, like, you know, like vendor carts that have maps for purchase. So perhaps there are at each level if we're touring, if we're such tourists.
They sell out-of-date maps, each one completely up to date.
Here are fiery hell pinwheels and maps.
For the day.
You would think that
Fiery hell pinwheel.
since the devils believe in order and hierarchy, it wouldn't be as chaotic. Well, I guess it must be much worse over in the abyss.
Commercialized levels of hell.
Maybe there's order to the chaos. It's like an Inception world.
Yeah. Find out together.
So,
I hate that sound.
one thing you would know, Orpheus, is that you never, in your 2 years in Dis outside of the prison, you never noticed docks in the city. So you are very unaware of where the river hits.
I turn back to the ferryman and say in Infernal, basically exactly what you said. I don't recall any docks during my time in Dis. How does the river Styx enter the second level of hell?
In your head again, without looking, without breaking his gaze from where he's headed, you hear in your head that same voice say, The river does not enter the city. It enters the level, but you would have to find your way into the city.
Understood. Thank you, Ferryman.
There's like a plane around the city, right?
Yeah, you would know that this... yeah, you would know through your studies at least enough to know that the city of Dis makes up like 95% of the plain, but there is a small, like, outskirts area, like a wildlands, that's filled with, like...
Sorry,
What the fuck was
that
that?
was my alarm.
Oh, it's
was my
like
alarm.
wild.
There's a demon.
It
Yeah.
wasn't me.
Wild creatures and shit like that outside of the city walls. But
So,
I had a minor in hell as part of my studies.
Nice. No, that makes sense.
I
Didn't you
hope
do your?
that we can
your
find some hellhounds, and we can name them after more breakfast foods.
You could ask him if it's true that the city of Dis is built on rock and roll.
oh, Jesus.
This is going to be a long boat ride.
5 hours.
Uh-huh.
Hey, you guys did not miss me, and I'm aware, and it's fine. I'm sorry that I've derailed everything.
How dare you? You were
My
I
dissertation
started
was
it with Megadeth. You can't mention Symphony of Destruction and not expect me to mention Megadeth.
That's
Just
fair.
not
That is
possible.
very fair.
So, really, it's Nick's fault. So, we can get back on track now.
Wasn't your dissertation on the Rakshasa?
no, it was called lasagna or dip, and it was a 30-page analysis of whether or not the layers of hell was more like a lasagna or like a 9-layer bean dip.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be comparing the layers of hell to the Wizard of Oz. But
I'm not familiar with that wizard.
oh, it's pretty old.
I've heard of the Wizard of Monstralia.
So,
The Wizard of
can we
Monstralia.
call this episode References
Yeah.
the episode?
Which is funny because the title of the episode is a reference. I don't know if you saw it or not.
Hey, everyone, preemptively, we're going to open a bar. We're calling it right now, and the bar will be called References the Bar. So you're not allowed to have it. It is the property of those natural ones.
Yes. So, is there anything else that you are accomplishing while you are still within the 7th layer of hell?
Does it seem like there's anything else we're going to accomplish?
So,
Well, before we go
Oh.
too far, I have a question.
yes.
So, what were you going to say, Butch?
I was gonna offer you chocolate-covered grasshoppers.
Delicious.
They are crunchy.
Are there any of those incorporeal spirits on this boat with us? Like the ones that I saw get off when me and Elric went scouting?
Make a perception check real quick. It's a small boat, so it's a small DC.
Oh boy, my buttons are all wonky.
I'm also rolling perception.
There it is.
Two.
14.
You guys appear to be the
Cool.
only ones on the boat. It appears that this ferryman dropped all his passengers before you guys got on,
Alrighty.
Including with my 25?
including with your 25.
Okay.
I think the rest of the break, Elric is just going to be journaling this whole situation.
Language primer.
Orpheus, was there something else you wanted to do?
I'm good.
Okay, I thought you were.
During any downtime, I want to continue to learn Infernal from Morpheus.
Okay. So you guys sail for about an hour or so. Again, this hour is extremely quiet, almost unsettlingly quiet, other than the noises that you guys are making and the conversations you're having.
I'm going to play my flute
Very good. Also,
because it's too much.
most of you, if not all of you, well, at least all of the main party, and I'm assuming Orpheus has at some point, have spent time on boats before. Some of you have sank them. But
Or set them on fire.
or set them on fire and then sank them. So, one thing that you notice right away is this ride is oddly smooth. There's no pitching and yawing. There's no real, like, up and down movement. It is like glass. And as you come to the end of your first hour, you notice, looking forward, everything becomes black around you. There's a slight glow from the river water, this kind of tealish glow, where you can make out the hull of the ship, but everything else is pitch black. It stays that way for about 5-10 minutes before suddenly you're hit again. Takes your eyes a minute to adjust to the new lights. And you see the river now carving through a different landscape. It's still kind of a barren, kind of beige-ish, reddish land. But now you see these gargantuan tumbles of angular black stone blocks. The blocks ranging in size from a small city to a large metropolis form piles, hundreds of miles thick. Randomly tilted and ill-fitting blocks are honeycombed with angular passages and caverns, causing clutched or choked out passageways. You see these dark green mists rising up from different sides, from crevices, and as the river continues through, you start seeing like movements along the edges of the river, jetting back in between these to these labyrinths of this angular stone.
Just furiously just describing this whole thing in pen.
Those of you who are proficient in history would, and specifically Arnon, possibly Butch, possibly Rhett because of your songs lineage. You would know this as you have now entered the 6th layer of hell. This is Malbolg. Or Malboge for no, it's not. Malbolg.
Arnon's dummying it down for me, so he is explaining this to me.
Absolutely.
In layers of food.
The boat continues. The river, basically unchanged from the previous layer. The same writhing beings trying to break free of the surface tension. The ferry continues around twists and turns through this landscape. And as you continue forward for about another hour, is there anything during this hour that you want to accomplish?
Can I roll on my religion
Still
to
studying.
see if Butch knows what those things are in the water?
Sure.
I got a 6. Hey, Orpheus, can you ask?
You know the river Styx is known as the River of Souls. They look like humanoid-esque, translucent. You're pretty sure that they're souls, but you're not.
Okay.
Maybe they could be. You don't know.
And it could be a special variety of soul.
So as Orpheus continues to teach Rhett Infernal,
Every once in a while, I just like
Me
take
too.
a break and I'm just like, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life of the long arm of the law. Just like various Styx songs.
fantastic. So, you continue for about another hour, twisting and turning through this labyrinth of onyx stone landscape before coming to a point again where your vision goes black. And it's not like you enter a wall or anything. It's you're literally just traveling along. The river continues, the landscape continues, and then almost like you hit an invisible curtain where
So
everything
it's not
just
even a dark vision thing. It's
No,
just that's
it's just-
the world that exists right now.
yes.
Okay.
And as
Okay.
soon as you enter that, everything goes black around you. You still see the pathway of the river, that same kind of turquoisey glow of the river, illuminating the bottom of the boat again. Nothing else to be seen. Continue that way for about 5-10 minutes before the first thing that hits you this time is the temperature change. You went from extreme heat to extreme cold. Cold that you have all felt once before. The light,
Except for rain.
except
ask
for
the
Rain and
ferryman-
Orpheus.
And Orpheus.
Can I ask Orpheus to ask how long, to ask the ferryman like how long this cold's going to last?
An hour.
I think we can infer an hour.
Your
Do
vision.
you guys want me to cast so that we can like be in a cubic, like just get all together and get warm?
We should
Oh,
probably
I
ask
mean-
the
We
ferryman's
last like this for an
permission
hour.
first
Are you guys good?
before we set his boat on fire.
I like
I
to
could ask
refer
him-
to this layer as the microwave lasagna layer, where
Sure.
if you
Ooh,
heat
it's like it's like
the
a hot
whole
pocket.
lasagna on high, this is the layer that's still ice in the middle.
It's really as hell.
So the first thing that hits you is the
Hell
extreme
pocket.
cold that all of you, save for two, have felt before. Your vision comes, the blackness fades into this almost like icy blue sky. You see the river carving through solid ice. You see glacial spikes, stalagmites almost, sticking up around. The river continues. Make a perception check. Anyone who... Rhett, Elric, Arnon, and Butch.
Or would you say perception?
Yes.
Which was an 8.
18.
Did you
That's,
say 26?
Yes. Butch,
What's a 7 get me?
Butch and Elric, the hell's in your eyes.
Oh,
Butch
God.
is almost...
Oh, I got that hell in my eyes.
Yeah. You're
Got that layer of lasagna. You just can't get out.
you all see.
I think Butch is just withdrawn into his shell.
Yeah, you all see Butch, familiar to what happened last time you were sent here. Instantly, Butch just starts almost shutting down. The cold-blooded being going from extreme hot to extreme cold temperature. You just see Butch just slowly start shutting down again. Arnon, Retz, you are looking around. You look over to your right a few miles off, and you see a very familiar kind of looming, almost like iceberg peak that looks very similar to a place that you went to shelter from the cold at one point.
Are we gonna find our dogs again?
Not that place.
Damn it. So excited for breakfast brunch dogs. Ugh.
No, those were still
Those
in,
dogs
those were
shouldn't
not in
be.
hell. Those dogs were not in hell.
We don't know how they traveled afterwards.
That's
I
fair.
don't know.
I hope they didn't go to
No,
hell.
you had somebody take them back and get your
You know,
deposit
maybe
back.
Maybe they traveled.
Anyway,
Maybe they've been on other adventures after they went with us, right?
so you don't know. You weren't there.
Now they're hounds.
I meant, huh?
Huh? What? So
I told you about it. Remember? I told you. About it.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine they've gone other places, right? This isn't the accent
adventurous
that
hellhounds.
Rain has.
as you continue carving your way through this frozen hellscape, the temperature ungodly cold. You find yourself shivering uncontrollably, especially going from the extreme heat you were previously accustomed to after a few days in the hells, the lower circles of the hells, to this.
Does anybody have any kind of warming flame spells or anything like that?
You asked
Make
the
a small campfire if we have something that we can contain it in, because I don't want to set another boat on fire.
No.
Did you ask the foreman if that's okay?
Well, I could if
Foreman,
anybody has a spell.
And
Might as well
Which
be a
has a
foreman.
spell?
Like wearing a hard
once he
hat.
thaws out.
Let's get a tool belt.
You
Hey,
see
yo,
this,
boss.
this
We're
yellow
cold.
helmet up here.
I actually have a hard hat in here. So like don't
Oh
be
my
surprised
God.
if after break I'm wearing a hard hat.
Oh my god.
Okay. I've got. Do we have torches? I believe we have torches.
I do have, but I
have
seriously, I can
torches.
make us, I can cast and do a small campfire if we can somehow keep it contained, like safely.
Well,
I don't
Torches
think we
sound
have the means.
safer.
Is there metal? Like I don't know.
yeah, I'd say Elric's idea of the torches is probably the safer idea.
If you warm up Butch, I can cast Lehman's tiny hut.
Only warm
that
up
work on a moving
non-living
vessel?
material.
Hmm.
All right, let me
You hold a torch real close.
let me ask the ferryman if he'll have any issue with spells being cast on the boat. So, in Infernal, I ask him
What the
if he'd take any offense if we cast any sort of rituals or spells on the boat.
To which, why is my Google being weird? Sorry.
Yeah, it's doing that too. There's
Is it-
no links.
Okay, it's not just
It's
mine.
on it's on my phone too.
Okay, cool.
It has 0 links. It just is showing questions.
Yes. Fucking weird.
I actually went to Bing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Bing is working.
Shout out to
Desperation.
It's weird
We
because I
use-
usually Google if something is down, but I
Yeah,
can't
I know.
Google if Google is down.
And
Well,
ask
if you
ChatGPT on Bing.
Google what is wrong with Google right now, it says Google's fine.
Of course it would.
Usually they'll put on Twitter if they have an issue too. But can
That's
we
why I've been
build-
looking at
can
my
we-
other screen, mouthing "What the fuck" for the last 10 minutes.
Can we cast the hut on the boat?
That's what I was
and
trying to
then
Google.
Our,
Whether or not, because
our body heat.
because
Okay.
Liamon's tiny hut is immovable. It's an immobile dome. So theoretically, I would say that when you cast it, when the boat moves out of it, the hut's going to stay where it is.
My Google's working in Maryland, so what do you want me to Google?
It can be cast in a vehicle if enough room exists for the hemisphere.
I mean, if it can be cast in a vehicle, I feel like it would say that it wouldn't go with the vehicle.
And I mean,
It
if
does not say that in the in the guide, but okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, in the
You can.
I actually
by the
went
way,
old
this is
school
actually helpful for the
and
future.
got the, the player's handbook out.
You can cast
Did
it
you cut the
whilst
dragons out of that
underwater,
one,
and
too?
it'll be dry
Oh
inside.
God, damn it! Creatures in the object in the
I mean, nothing is actually stationary because planets
No way.
whip through the cosmos
shut
at
the-
thousands of miles per hour.
But seriously, we should keep in mind
Nerd.
that we're allowed to cast it while underwater, and it will keep us dry, and we can
That's
breathe
true.
under it in there.
All right, so you would have to find out. You would have to try it to see if it would work.
all right, just make sure the entrance is pointing towards the front of the boat, so that as it drifts away, we can go through the door.
Oh, if it starts to drift away, I'll just end it.
It's like that shape game, like from Japan, the game show.
Oh, God,
you have to
yeah.
match the shape
Do
of the
you
little
want
cutout.
bardic inspiration for this?
No, I just need 10 minutes, whatever, to cast it as a ritual.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, though.
While you,
I guess there was just no. I guess since
Did,
Nick didn't say you can certainly try, then we're okay.
Did the ferryman answer my request?
I'm sorry. What was your request?
I asked him if it would be a problem or if he would take offense if we cast a spell or ritual on his vessel.
To which he looks or continues to look forward, and in your head, Jesus Christ, in your head you hear, "Is there something? Is there something you need?"
We have some members of our party who are very cold.
We're chilly.
Ironically, we need warmth in hell.
To which you hear in your head a slight chuckle,
Pussies.
and then you hear him say, "It's been a while since I've dealt with the fleshy types and your need for comfort." You see him raise the pole, and you see that torchlight that was on the top of the pole grow out as he pushes the pole back down into the water and brings that torchlight closer to you, and you do feel like this aura of warmth kind of circle around the boat itself.
Can we offer him snacks as thanks? Does he eat?
We do have
Does
snacks.
he consume?
I'm sure he would accept a tip.
I think we should offer one as a kindness to also encourage future kindness. Should it be?
I will offer 2 chocolate-covered grasshoppers.
He just stares, continues staring forward, doesn't even make any indication.
What about a gold coin?
Are you handing a gold coin?
Yeah. And like a bow.
And I say an infernal for your assistance.
To which he reaches down. You do see for the first time him take a hand off the pole and put palm up for you to drop the coin in.
I dropped the coin in very carefully
Elric,
without
can I
touching
borrow your
him.
pen? Elric, can I borrow your pen and a piece of paper?
For
Are you going to give the
I
ferryman
want to
your
write
number?
him a thank you note with Orpheus's help.
oh my god.
I
is
would
like
love
what
it if
real
it's
life me
spelled
would
all
do.
terrible. It's just like
Yeah,
terrible
like
script.
it looks like it's in crayon.
It's like
I'm like,
third-year-old or
I'm like,
third grader.
A 3-year-old?
I really appreciate
Shut
your
up.
help. You're really great. Thanks so much.
I was
Right.
trying to say a 3-year-old or a third grader, and it came out with a third-year-old.
I doubt he'd accept it though.
that's okay. It makes me feel better as a person to thank him.
Maybe you could chisel it into some coins. He'll take those.
If you think I could be that intricate and still get it right, probs not.
So, as you continue for another hour inside this, well, what the place that you are well aware of is Stygia.
What year is it?
What year is it? Hey, Sam, what year is it?
Please hold just a second, and I will tell you.
Hit us, Jumanji.
1265.
No, it's the Avengers. Like Chris Evans pops up. He's like, I don't remember this.
So,
Yeah, it's 1265. Almost 1266. If we can survive a couple more months.
What do you got? New Year celebration.
as you all continue this journey down this river, about another close to an hour passes, and then a feeling you're starting to get a little too familiar with as you continue, and then all of a sudden, like entering another invisible curtain as everything just goes black. And again, the outline of the river carving through the nothingness. You continue for another 5-10 minutes before another extreme temperature change hits you, this time in the opposite direction.
I hate this place.
Your vision comes back and you see black soil, ashen soil, obsidian rock all around where the river cuts through. You see a blazing desolation of fire and lava, volcanoes peppering the horizon, ash clouds and steam coming through the tops with rivers of lava pouring down the sides, turning into full-on rivers cutting through the landscape. You see random juts of flame just erupting through cracks and fissures in the landscape. The ferryman grabs his pole again, and you see that large flame that he had created diminish down into a small torchlight again. You have entered the fourth layer of hell. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce this word.
Spell it.
Phlegethos? Phlegethos.
Langy.
Like Phlegathos?
Phlegathos. We're going to go with Phlegathos. Phlegethos? Sure. We're going to go with that.
I'm sure that you're all very much aware. I'm just going to call it phalanges because I'm not going to try
I'm
that.
sure you are.
Oh no.
The
The
river,
land of phalanges. You entered it.
the river Styx continues to carve
Is there a
through.
Regina that lives there?
Yeah.
Yes, Regina, Dr. Regina Phalange.
The river Styx continues to carve through as you see these other rivers of molten rock kind of appearing to drain into the main thoroughfare of Styx, where the lava hits, you do see these billows of steam rising out, and you do see shores and banks of pure obsidian.
Wait, I'm sorry. You're saying it's draining? Like
No, like the rivers of lava are coming towards the river Styx, and then when they hit the water of the Styx, you see this. They're almost instantly cooled, and you're seeing like pillars
so
of
it's almost
steam.
like when salt water mixes with like fresh water, like.
Yes, kind of like. Okay. Have you ever seen when the Hawaiian volcanoes erupt and the lava goes down and hits the ocean, and you see yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I really am just trying to visualize them. Yep. Sorry. Thanks.
No, you're good. So.
We have a returning viewer from Austria.
I see that. Thanks, Nope Man. I'm sorry that you can't hear us because you broke your headset, but thanks for sticking with us.
Nope Man?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, if you're ever on Animal Crossing, look for Nopetopia, because that's my island. So
Shit.
We can be Nope friends.
Incredible.
That's Austria. That's the Austrian dude. That's the dude from Austria that we were talking. Yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, I remember you, man.
Because we'll be Nope twins.
Yeah, because me and Emery were speaking German, and he complimented us on our 3 sentences in German that we spoke.
Funny thing is, he cannot hear us right now.
I know.
Maybe
that's
he'll
the
hear
best
us
part.
later.
Oh no!
Hopefully he'll come back.
Later.
That's my 2 years of German that I took 25 years ago, or 20 years ago. That's coming back slowly.
Send us your address.
Slowly.
We'll send you headphones. I have lots.
Lindsay, you're awesome. So.
And I really will. I'll send you headphones. Give me your address.
And kind of creepy.
Or give me a P.O. box. I don't need to know where you live. I don't care.
Reeling y'all back in here now. That was awesome. I'm glad Nope Man is here, even if he can't hear us. Reeling you guys back in as you continue cutting through this.
Nick, check Discord.
Yeah, I know. I already fixed it. I already bumped it.
Okay.
I got that text too. I'm gonna just go ahead and bump it some more. Anyway, as you continue cutting through this obsidian and ash-covered landscape, you see cutting through the skies these leather-winged creatures. Small devils, demons, dotting the skies, perching on some obsidian outcroppings in the back.
That is what?
Is there anything you are doing while continuing?
I mean, we're just still on the boat, right? Right?
You're just...
Can, like... If Orpheus wants to do other things, perhaps he can just make me a workbook so that he can do other things than just...
Yeah, let me just
just,
glue some stuff together
throw
here.
in a workbook.
I'll give you some word problems.
The proper pronunciation is.
Like, get
You're
down,
insulting
get out
the
of
Austrian.
here. And he's like,
Oh.
perfect. It's all Arnold impressions.
That was an unintentional impression of our favorite former governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So I've heard
Governator.
that his accent is actually like a hillbilly accent in Austria. Is that true?
That's absolutely true.
Can Nope Man confirm this?
He could if he could hear us, but he can't because he broke his headset.
Aw.
He did say he will
That
watch
makes
it on
me sad.
YouTube.
Yeah, so
when he
comment.
can.
Hey, Nope Man, can you comment to us and let us know whether or not Arnold Schwarzenegger has a hillbilly Austrian accent.
I'll put it in the chat with my Hit the Books
So?
channel.
That would make me so happy. I want Hillbilly Arnold so bad. I would relate to that with a last name Strauss and a middle name of Ray.
Oh
That
my
would be
God.
incredible.
I've already forgotten how to spell Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I don't.
I would say Google it, but that's not going to work.
Schwarzenegger.
It's okay. Maryland Lindsay. Can you
I also have to ask him if Walter is the greatest Austrian wrestler of all time.
Oh my God.
So many questions.
Walter.
Moving on. Before we completely
back-
insult our
yeah.
Austrian friend here.
Yeah, back,
So,
back to
I-
hell.
I just want to
Oh,
look
Matt.
at the ferryman and see if not that I am not trying to take anything for the record establishing my actions. I just want to look and see if there's anything on him, like any accoutrement, like little like dangly shit that
Make-
like might be.
make
know.
like that should he happen to
What
pass.
else am I gonna do for
We
the next
might
2 hours?
make
Salute.
a perception check for me.
Well,
I mean, with a 12, you see he does have, like, out in the open on his hip, he does have a small satchel, what appears to be a ring of keys underneath it. It's more or less all you can really see. Jesus Christ, Scott.
My favorite person.
Just
he's
catching
my
up on
favorite
my
person.
reading.
You're my favorite person.
So, that's all you can really make out with a 12.
does he speak common, or has he only spoken Infernal? Might have
you
been when
haven't-
I was in a fugue state.
Yeah, you only heard him speak Infernal. However, he did respond to Rhett's. He did respond to Rhett's persuasion, so which was in common, but you have not really heard him speak too much.
Did he respond to my third grader letter? Like, did he at least look at it?
No, he did not.
That's okay.
So,
Oh, we're still in Phlegathos.
Phlegathos, yeah, however you want to pronounce it. And
Tomato, potato.
Tomato tomorrow.
Mr. Noteman is giving a very nuanced answer to our Arnold Schwarzenegger question.
Thank you. So, if there's nothing else, while you continue
Awesome.
for another hour or so in Phlegathos, once again, that same sensation hits you of the invisible curtain being pulled back to reveal nothingness. Another 5 minutes or so before. This time, the first thing that hits you is the stench, the smell, this putrid, polluted bog smell, the kind of like methane gas mixed with soiled old water, muddy water, and decaying material, decaying plant life.
This is what Butch thinks humans smell like all the time.
Yeah.
Because they do.
I'm
Methane and
just
swamp
like
water.
privately I'm like writing a song because like the decaying plant life like makes me think of Gwen and like how she would like want to make this better and improve it, and it makes me very sad, but I'm like writing it down and I share it with Rain.
At first, I thought you were going because she was decaying.
Okay, that's midnight dark, but that's not far off from like normal personality wise, so I respect it. I respect your thought.
As your vision comes to you, you notice a more temperate climate, very, very humid, but the overall heat has gone down, but the humidity has increased substantially.
I was gonna say, is it a dry heat?
No, not anymore. It was a dry heat. Now it's a wet heat. It's like
not the wet heat.
It's like Florida in August.
Oh,
No, no.
I've experienced that once.
Yeah.
That's
God,
the next
please,
shirt
never
for
again.
for Elric is, oh no, not the wet heat.
Anyway, so
He prefers the dry heat.
as your vision comes to you, you see a fetid marsh of mire, muck, and misery extending
Mire, muck, and misery.
as far as you possibly can see. You see these decaying black trees sprouting out from a layer of black, oily sludge. You see polluted waters of an almost eerie green cutting through this just landscape of decay.
We have reached a layer of alliteration.
This place sounds like it smells like the way Beetlejuice looks.
Oh no!
This place
So
is
now
making
the
Butch
episode
angry.
title is Smells Like Beetlejuice Spirit. That's now the episode title.
Oh no!
You, everybody go ahead and make a perception check. You haven't rolled in a while. Let's roll something.
Aha!
Shut up and roll something.
Shut up and roll.
19.
24.
My toolbar is even wonkier than last week, by the way.
The smell is in Orpheus's
I've got a
eyes.
strong 2.
Two.
Like,
Please, do you need help getting the smell out of your eyes? Which is
drag
something
that
that I
bar
say
in
in
there?
Infernal.
Yeah,
And it sounds as terrible as it is.
let me take a screenshot of what's going on here. Like, the bar is over here and the buttons are way over here.
Same for me.
Does it
Yeah, me
keep
too.
snapping back every time you move it?
Oh shit, yeah, mine's doing the same thing too.
I moved my bar,
Yes,
and
it
the
keeps
things
snapping
moved
back.
with it, but they're still very far away.
So,
I didn't know I'd get all three of my screens in there.
with
And
That too.
you can see where I got my thesis format from.
Windows Shift S, Windows key Shift S does and you can drag a screenshot box around something. Anyway,
Oh.
Rain with a 12, Orpheus with a 2. The two of you don't really.
No, Rain with a 21.
Oh,
That was my old perception.
sorry. Okay, Orpheus with a 2. You don't really see shit.
I smell it though.
You do still smell it. Rain with a 21, Arnon with a 19, Rhett with a 24, Butch with a 21, and Elric with a 17. You look
He
across.
smells what the atmosphere is cooking.
That's right. You look across this whole area, and you can see kind of oddly floating on top of this swamp out in the distance. You do start to see the outlines of almost like an urban landscape, like a major city off in the distance, somehow unnaturally floating on this swampland. But the river itself does not seem to curve towards it. The river that is cutting through This decay is going parallel to that city and almost curving slightly away. You do see, you look down at the rivers and you see bloated corpses floating in the waters. Visions of just carrion and decay again, just floating alongside you. Not necessarily in the river itself that is cutting through, but in the swamplands to the sides of the river.
Just a fun side note for those watching the YouTube live stream and seeing our conversation. Nope Man is awesome.
Yeah,
and
he
just
is.
Basically snoped the whole myth of Arnold Schwarzenegger having a hillbilly voice in the
Thanks
I
for
guess,
that, buddy.
Austrian German language.
Thanks for
Apparently
that.
he speaks the standard Austrian.
Okay.
I
So,
guess I'm just alone.
show Arnie
in-
some
in
respect.
Ray Strauss, the hillbilly German.
Stuck on his name.
Haters gonna hate.
So, in the
Oh, so we're saying he's basic.
in the distance, you do notice this kind of haze, this foggy yellow-green murk shrouding the air all around you as the boat continues through the river, cutting through this disgusting landscape.
Ugh.
Yeah, this is making me very uncomfortable.
Did you tell us the moniker for this murky muck?
You have entered the third layer of hell. This is Menoris.
Oh, it starts with an M. This is
Of
perfect.
course it does. Menoris, the murky, mucky, miserable.
The Marsh of Mire, Muck, and Misery.
Yeah,
Google's back.
fantastic.
Triple M.
This is my favorite one, and God, I wish I was Gwen right now. She'd be having a fucking field day.
For most, this is hell. For Gwen, this would be heaven.
Oh.
That's why I'm writing a song.
It's like they took mesh and made it awful.
Yeah.
Can rain
just gonna-
draw?
I'm just gonna go stand over next to Butch.
Does anybody have some smelling salts? I need to nuke my nostrils.
Real question though. Can rain draw?
I would say to an
Does she have a
extent.
pistol?
Okay, then I think instead of studying the language primer, they're gonna flip to a blank page and try to draw this plane under the assumption that this would be something Gwen would miss.
Fantastic.
Would it be possible for me to spend this time coaching up everybody on the enemies we'll potentially face to give us maybe some kind of initiative advantage or anything like that?
I mean, you can absolutely teach them, yes. You can give them an overview of the creatures that they will encounter in the city of Dis.
All right. Let's go ahead and review.
And while you are reviewing that, we are going to go ahead and take our break because it's almost 10 o'clock. So, we will be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. It all comes back around. So,
That was called a callback.
that's right. Stick with
See,
us.
that's a sign of respect for Austrian culture,
That's right.
not disrespect.
So, stick with us.
We
we'll
love
be
you,
back.
Austria.
We do. Very much so.
They have better beer than us.
Yeah, that's true, but that's not hard.
that's
that's
true.
really not a hard
it's
thing
a low
to say.
bar, but
American beer
admittedly.
is garbage.
Yeah.
So,
It's like sex in a canoe.
fucking close to water. Anyway, so we will be right back. Yeah, we'll be back.
is sniffing me on my pay after I gave him a hand.
And we're
There we
back.
go.
Hello, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that conversation from our local wizard.
Uh-huh.
I'm
I-
so
Like saying,
sad that you
Sam's
cannot
disembodied
hear
arm
that
popping in.
conversation.
I absolutely came back in the middle of what Emery was saying there. So,
Delightful.
You're welcome, Internet. You're welcome.
anyway, so we are
And
back.
we will not give context until a later date.
Indeed. Anyway,
So as we're going
that's
through
like
this
a-
awful swamp,
yes.
Patreon level. Unlocked.
No,
Yeah.
no, not even that. Not yet.
okay, come
No,
on.
no.
So, Butch, was there something you wanted to do after you emerged from the void?
What?
Walking
Oh, did we already? Oh,
void.
right. No, I think Butch is keeping an eye out for dark water, just in case his scaly butt is down here.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception
Honestly, thought
check.
you said narc water, and I'm like,
I
who is
did.
he telling on?
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm following what you're saying now. With part of your perception check, yes. You don't notice anything. You do notice some scaly wings flapping through the trees in the distance, but nothing to the size that you would expect.
I mean, I have no reason to think he would be down here, but it's hard not to.
Right. Right.
As
So-
I was checking my old thesis, and this is a layer of hell where they send anyone who's ever said, mess with the bull, get the horns with a straight face.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure here it's still mess with the bull and you get the shit.
As you continue through. What the fuck? Where did it go? Sorry, I lost my fucking page. Sorry. Give me a second here. I lost my Google page. Let's see if hey, Google's working. All right. Anyway.
I'm sorry, it says unironically. They said it unironically.
Unironically.
Yes.
So, as you continue through, knowing that you are one layer away from your destination, is there anything else that you want to do before entering your final destination plane?
So
I don't like how that was worded. Can we check for Devon Sawa?
oh my
Are
god.
we sure he's not here?
Are there any kind of spells or cantrips we can take advantage of to bolster ourselves for what might lie ahead?
Do they have any
I need
like
Elton.
hookups for trolling fishing on this boat?
I'm going to say probably not.
No places to charge my eye sending stone.
You able to recharge any of our weapons or anything like that?
Nick, can you make sure I have Elton?
Yes. I added him. You should be able to pull him out yourself now if you go on your character sheet at the
I've
top.
never done that.
Yeah, go into your open up your character sheet, and at the top right, you should see a tab that says companions.
Don't eat it.
Do you do you see? Do you see?
Don't eat it. Did you eat it?
I didn't do anything. It doesn't. It just lists them. It doesn't have me do anything with it. Though.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh God. Now what just happened? Jesus Christ.
Superstar.
Oh,
On the
and then
companion
boom.
manager thing, you click on the thing.
Spladoosh, there he is. Yeah, you click on the little face icon of Elton, and this weird little like almost like fidget spinner looking thing pops up. When you click there and then click in a random spot, he'll pop up.
Me now, though.
What?
2 Eldons.
2 Eltons.
What is happening? Help me.
Oh, I popped him
Double,
out on
double.
accident.
Ugh.
Either way, you have an Elton now. He's still
Yeah,
broken.
but I have garbage all over me. Like, I can't. There's
What do you
weird
mean you
crap
have
on me.
Garbage all over you. I don't see shit.
Dude, I'll send you a screenshot. I can't. It's all messed up now.
All right, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. Get rid of this.
And I have 2 Eltons and no me.
I see you and an Elton. I don't see 2 Eltons. It's fucking weird, man. Oh, there's Elton. Elton was underneath you. There.
Gross.
There. You should be good.
He was just doing that cute dog thing where they hide behind your
Yeah.
knee.
All right. So,
You, what do I need to do to make him all healed up?
he's broken. So, nothing.
Cool.
He's still broken.
Okay.
Emery, write that down.
Yeah, that's going to take like a whole macro. It's
Yeah.
a bit of an issue.
Yeah. He broke. He big broke. So,
Put that in your book.
put
Maybe
that
I
in
will.
your book. So, as you continue, was there anything else that you wanted to complete before?
Yeah, Alric, in your book, are you including, what are they called? You know, those pictures along the borders, they're called, what are they called? Illuminations? No, are you putting like appropriate pictures?
I'm
Illustrations.
Illustrations?
No, there's a special term for the ones that are in like old-timey Middle Ages books.
Are you talking about the legends that would be at the corner of a map to denote where things are?
No, I'm talking about those old
I
pictures of
know
like
what you, yeah,
bats flying through the air and people blowing trumpets and stuff.
yeah.
Like
the
a
foil
filigree?
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Except it's unique on every page.
I'm doing my best to describe in words what it is that's happening here.
Well, people like pictures. People like pictures.
I'm not an illustration artist.
Well, be better.
I think this is the first time that you've ever said anything remotely close to hurting my feelings, Butch.
Oh,
Also
I think
concerned that you think it's an illustration artist and you didn't go like with illustrator.
I'm sorry, I don't draw things. How else am I supposed to put this? I'm about the written word.
all right. I have to stop thinking about you and your book. I think being in hell is getting to me.
I
I'm just
believe that
getting
makes at least 2 of us.
Unreasonably upset about this.
The sooner we can get out of here, the better.
I like pictures.
I'm sure we can commission something once we return.
I'm gonna show Butch what I'm drawing.
Oh, these are much better visuals. Thank you.
Think one will like it?
Yeah, I think I'll make suggestions on upping the fetid atmosphere.
Headed.
I follow them closely.
Yeah, that's the
As
word.
closely
that
as I
likes.
can.
Orpheus contemplates jumping into the river Styx.
Fetid. Feculent, even.
Feculent.
See, it's the ring of alliteration.
So, as you all continue for the next hour through this bog, you do still notice the occasional winged creature flying overhead and perching in these desolate, burnt out, charred trees. About an hour passes before one more time you hit that same familiar now sensation of the world just going black out of nowhere. The river itself continuing to carve through the darkness as you notice, after almost clockwork now, you can almost time it down to the minute, about 5 or so minutes pass. You notice the temperature change again, more of a dry heat. Extreme heat. No humidity anymore. Your vision comes to, stings your eyes from the brightness. You kind of have to blink, let your eyes adjust as you see this dull orange sky, fire-colored orange sky. You see like this perpetual ring of mountains in every direction around you. And off to the side, you notice these dark... these dark, almost black metal walls that seem to go on as far as the eye can see. The boat continues down this river, and you notice up ahead a small, rickety, old wooden dock. The ferryman continues. The boat slowly starts to slow as it approaches this dock, without any evidence of any kind of anchorage or tethers. Pulls up, stops the boat, and looks down across all of you.
I think we've made it to Dis.
I bow my head towards the ferryman and thank him for the voyage and safe passage, and step onto the dock.
As you all...
I would like to give him a gold coin. Do I have? Do you?
Didn't we already do that? We did that at
We
the
did that
beginning.
when we got on.
Well,
Maybe
one of
we
us
wanna
gave him a
give
gold
him
coin, but there's like
more.
Each
I'm pretty sure
of
we
you
all did it.
Each of you gave 2 gold coins at the beginning for the fare.
Okay.
And then Orpheus gave
That's
1
right.
gold coin to him when he lit up everything as a tip. I mean, if you would like to, you are more than welcome to give him another tip, or you can just
I will.
disembark.
Like excitedly skip next to Orpheus and tell him I understood what he said. So I was excited.
So if you are Rhett, make sure that you mark off a total of 14 gold has been spent on this ferry
Yep.
ride.
Yeah, that's part of typing on my
Fantastic. So, as you step off of this rickety old wooden dock, you notice a cracked reddish orange high desert landscape. Heat, immense heat. You see waves in the air in the distance coming from the ground as the heat distorts the vision. you notice far off into the distance the towering black iron exterior wall. You see past that a single spire, a single large, almost never-ending black iron tower that appears to be in the center of the city. Seems to go on unmeasurably tall.
That's pretty tall.
I'll ask our guide if he knows where to go from here.
Do I know where to go from here?
The guide then asks himself.
In-
He knows where to go. The
I asked the
asks
magical
the
DM in the sky.
In your head, Arnon, you hear, "My knowledge is of the river," as the boat starts to pull away from the dock.
Oh, I meant Orphocles.
Oh, I thought you said... Oh, gotcha.
Orpheus.
So,
To Orpheus.
Orpheus.
you... I don't know if you still have that information, but you are not that familiar with the outside of the city. You spent your entire time inside the city.
But we can clearly see.
He
You
gets to
can
the
see
city if he doesn't know.
essentially
You
the
can,
city.
you can see where the wall is.
Okay. So, I would assume that's the answer. Point at the wall.
Everyone make perception checks for me real quick.
Solid 12.
Wow, you guys
Solid
are
9.
you guys are on it. The hell's in your eyes again. Jesus fucking Christ.
Wow. Rat got a
Like,
13.
what the fuck, though, dude?
Should I
like,
get an advantage roll since I've been here before?
No, because this is
Do it,
about
dude.
seeing things. And you have not been
yeah, like
on the
this
outside of the
This
city.
is insanely low.
So we have for those listening to the podcast, we have Rain with a 12, Butch with an 8, Arnon with a 9, Orpheus with a 12, Rhett with a 13, and Elric with a 12.
Unheard of for me. Like, what?
Yeah, you rolled a 4.
Pathetic.
Jesus Christ.
Right.
I rolled a
What?
2.
I also rolled a 2.
So,
Ugh.
as you guys walk, or as you guys are standing there, you do see, like I said, what appears to be miles off in the distance, this low, dark metal wall. You do notice not a lot from where you are, but you do, off to the side, you see a roadway. What appears to be a roadway, a pathway that's slightly different consistency than the cracked earth that you're currently standing on.
Well, which way now?
Does the road seem like it's heading towards the wall?
It does.
Anything around that we can see? Any denizens?
From where you are currently, you see a few scrub land, like burnt, charred, small, like weeds. No real denizens in the area that you can see.
I'd like to use my hat of disguise to make myself look like a bearded devil,
Okay.
so that at least one of us.
Yeah, I would say for those of us who cannot transform, should probably take advantage of those uniforms we brought along.
Yeah.
I also have a disguise kit. Can that be used on like multiple people?
It can, but I believe you need like an hour per person, if I remember correctly, to to disguise them.
That would have been good to think of 5 hours ago.
Yeah.
What's the rival
That's
kingdom
because
called
I'm
again?
the worst.
Shan.
No,
Shan.
you're not the worst.
I mean, do we have time to, like set up the tiny hut and do a little?
Spin the bottle.
No, what she was talking about, not.
What?
Can we set up the hut
There,
and then
like in the
work our
description,
magic?
it doesn't say that there's a time for it.
On the disguise kit, no, but it doesn't really say anything other than you can use it
doesn't
to
say there isn't one.
disguise people. Proficiency lets you add your proficiency bonus. If you're going to, I mean, you can roll for it each time and it'll help determine how long it takes for you to actually disguise someone, but theoretically it's going to be an
Advantage because,
average
like,
of about
performance?
No, you have proficiency in it. So you add your proficiency bonus to it. But theoretically, it's going to end up averaging about an hour each time to properly apply the makeup and the prosthetics to make it a passable disguise.
What time is it? Or like what perceived time in the day? Like, are we getting close to rest?
For you guys, after that 5 hours, you're probably looking close to early evening. You're probably looking about 5-6 p.m.
Do y'all want to find a place for the hut and maybe like rest and then put the makeup on or whatever you're gonna do, Rhett?
Don't they have places to stay inside the city?
I was thinking we could get ready and then be disguised going into the city as opposed to getting disguised while in the city.
Right.
It would be a good idea to go prepared. However, this plane shifts, so there's no guarantee that we'll know where to go by tomorrow.
I thought this plane was 90% the city. I mean, this is out of character question.
It is, but the city itself is constantly changing.
Is it? Can we see it change, or is it like when you look away, it changes?
You haven't been there yet, so you don't know.
But I would, right?
You would, yes. You know, it's more along the lines of, so in your 2 years that you spent here, you know that there are stories and things that are said about Dispater, the archdevil, the ruler of Dis, and his paranoia, and the fact that he is constantly thinking or worried about people other demons and devils and archdevils trying to take his power and take his rule of the second layer. In that paranoia, he is constantly trying to make his tower even more impenetrable than it was before. And part of that is constantly rearranging the city streets. So through some magical means and also just an army of lower devils constantly doing construction. It's
Always construction
Yeah,
season.
it's Columbus in the summer, it's constant construction, constantly moving buildings, moving alleyways. So it's a combination between that and the magical means of shifting roadways.
So
Maybe
if
should get some
we rested,
hard hats.
we wouldn't lose sight of it, more or less.
You wouldn't lose sight of the
that's
city.
changing, not
No,
the area around it.
the
Okay.
outskirts of the city are going to stay in the same location. However, entrances, exits, pathways through the city is what's going to be changing.
Then yes, so we should probably rest.
Yeah, but we wouldn't know that anyway. So the city's still going to stay but we as a group wouldn't
You
know
would
the streets
not.
anyway, right?
Orpheus would. Well, he did when he was here, but clearly
Right.
they've
So
been
it wouldn't
changed.
make a difference.
Correct. Theoretically correct.
Okay.
We need
So
some
I think
hard
tiny hut
hats
and
and
disguise it
reflective
up.
vests.
Does everybody
Yeah.
bring their PPE?
Oh my god.
I'm going to fashion a
Make sure you wear
sign
steel-toed boots
pole that
for the
says
glass.
stop on one side and slow on the other.
You down with PPE?
Yeah, you know me.
There it is.
So, if you are
Fired.
looking for a place to set up your hut, one thing that you do notice is it is pretty flat around. Like there's the mountains off in the distance, but those look miles away from you. And then there's the wall of the city that also looks at this range miles away from you. Everything else is flat, cracked, like hard packed, high desert like landscape.
There's no. Yeah, it doesn't sound like there's anywhere to hide a hut.
Do they have inns?
Isn't
In
the
the
hut
city?
invisible?
It's opaque.
Oh, okay.
You can change the color to match the scenery, but you can see it.
Okay.
Like it's visible.
Yeah.
Do they have inns in the city?
Yeah, but we
Yeah, but
want to go in the city in disguise.
I mean, our visiting envoy could possibly use one. Well, there's definitely an underground. I don't know if there's businesses.
Yeah, I mean, Orpheus, you would know this from living in there. There is an underground. There are a few businesses. Most of the city is uninhabited labyrinth.
So potentially we could just become squatters.
And you would notice, or you would remember, there are occasional, while not prevalent and not a majority by any means, there are visitors from material planes that do sometimes travel through Dis for commerce, trade. Usually they're more malevolent beings, slavers and such. But you have, in your time here, you did see a fair share of humans, elves, other races that have made their way through Dis.
All right.
Yep.
Well,
yeah. So I can make the hut and make it look like the landscape, hopefully, and then maybe we'll just be in it for as long as it takes us to apply our disguises. Sound good?
Yeah.
would we want to try to do a long rest and recoup our spells, or?
I think so.
Well, whoever's applying the makeup
we're
cannot
gonna-
take a long rest.
Would we want to rest and then?
I mean,
put them-
if we're
put them-
doing like an overnight though, that would be plenty of time, right? I mean,
Yeah,
There's-
you're a half elf. You only take, you only need 4 hours.
right.
I'm just
and I mean,
worried about them
even if
spotting
each
us.
person takes an hour, including myself, if there's an overnight, I can rest like normal, almost.
I can't imagine that they don't keep an eye on these planes. And a hut out here is going to be unusual. They might send someone
Not a-
out to investigate.
There's like,
I know that the walls
mean,
are
like, what-
watched, so we'll
There's an-
definitely be viewable on the walls.
There's
but I
a
don't-
giant.
No, there's not a giant glowing fire eye over the tower.
Does
That's gonna be my question.
does the hut have to be one color?
Yes, I believe so.
He can't make it look like a bush.
No.
Does the hut offer coupons when you order more than 2 pizzas?
Yeah, I do actually. Well, except I order the pizzas.
Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah. My hut, my rules, my pizzas.
Pizza Hut.
Okay. Butch, you are the one
Yep.
who can summon the
All
hut.
right.
So,
Let's hunt it up.
yeah.
So this is what you're doing? You're setting up a hut?
Stop setting me up for
I
no
don't-
one can out Pizza Hut.
I don't
Like, you
think
have
this is
to
a great idea.
I can't help
I mean, what
myself.
are our
Just to
options if
clarify,
we don't do that?
you are setting up a hut in the middle of this desert area.
Yeah,
No
it's a
cover,
bad idea.
With no cover.
No cover. They're gonna come investigate
Okay,
us.
but
and it's
hold
gonna
on,
be a
hold on, hold on,
problem.
hold on,
Okay,
hold on,
wait.
hold on. Because I feel like we're getting conflicting information. We're getting information where people come through here for commerce, which makes this feel safer
People come through
and
the,
makes
not
this a
on this
logical
side.
thing to
the
do.
city.
But then
People-
we're also getting information that this is a bad idea because we can't. So I think we need
Okay.
to clarify this before a final
People-
decision is made.
people come through the city for commerce. You are not in the city. You are on the outskirts of the
No.
city, which is a wildland, a desert area.
We're
But
and we're
is
in
that
a
to
part-
say that no one would ever
here's
not want to
some
pay
info
money to stay in the city?
That may
Because
help.
like that's normal that people might not want to pay money to stay in a city before they, like that's just normal.
That's normal for a place that's not hell.
There,
we're
I
on the
know.
wrong side of the city.
I disclosed to the group that I do know that there are wild beasts and various other creatures that roam the plains around the city.
Oh
Can we just-
fuck!
Can we
That
just
doesn't mean that it's professionally monitored, but it does mean that one could potentially stumble upon us.
quickly throw on the uniforms and go find a place to squat inside?
Yeah, like an abandoned building.
Like just to make us not totally stick out, but then we're in the city and it's not a problem that we're just sitting out here.
But got to keep in mind, we got to get into the city first, and the walls of the city are monitored, and there's no guaranteed our disguises will work. So we have to be ready for conflict in either case.
Or persuasion.
So where we are right now, regardless of time of day, because it is a different plane, just because it's a certain time of day doesn't necessarily mean it will be dark. Is it dark?
No.
Like, will it be getting dark soon?
It does not appear to
Or
be
is it
dark
never
right
dark?
now. It does not appear to be dark right now. You don't know if it gets dark or not. Orpheus would. You would know that it never gets dark here.
Well, then that really changes things too, because we're not going to have any kind of cover. Like, then for me, then yeah, I mean, our only option is to throw on the uniforms and move forward.
What about some hasty disguise kit applications at disadvantage?
So, like, putting makeup on in the car. So, like, mascara in the car is what you're asking for.
But it's clown
Got it.
makeup.
Right.
I mean, you could certainly try.
I would like to roll to disguise myself as a juggalo.
I would like to prepare the spell.
Roll for gun butt. That's your name. That's a juggler.
Roll for
Gun butt.
Fago.
Nice.
Roll for
no.
Fago cannon.
Oh no!
Yeah, roll for Fago in the jug.
It just gets worse.
That's still a thing, right?
No, it
I
gets
don't-
better.
I will actually share with you guys, and you guys can choose to share what the gun butt reference is, and I will be murder bitch, and I will tell you about the reference later.
Moving on. Away
I'm
from.
Brundle
Devil.
tractor.
Her bearded
Oh,
devil.
Jesus. Okay, so
Actually, that works as a juggalo name. That's
yeah, it
horrifying.
does. Yes, it really does. All right, so
It's fantastic.
Butch is
The
using
name
the hat of-
picked you, Lindsay. The name picked you.
Butch is using the hat of disguise to turn into a bearded devil.
Yeah,
the
I
rest
am.
of you are putting on uniforms. Is that what you're
I'll
doing?
put on, Shan uniform.
Yeah, and Arnon and I are juggalos.
Okay,
All right.
Orpheus, you got to coach me in the phrases I need to say as a devil to get us in.
Well, it'd help if you knew Infernal.
Could he just
That's
make an
why we've
illusion
been
of,
learning
like,
it for.
But
Only one person was studying it on the boat.
No,
No, I
Butch
was-
said he
well,
was.
I
You were
on the boat.
you were yelling at people for illustrations.
Butch, can you
I
just
also played my flute.
Very
make it
productive.
part of the illusion where part of the throat is missing or something? So like it just looks like you can't talk, and then you just like grunt menacingly.
Yeah, and you
That'll
don't
work.
have like the device. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't, and it's just like it's gone. Will that work?
Elric is raising his hand.
Worth a shot.
Yes, you in the back.
What a nerd.
I really don't know what else to say about this plan other than that we just ought to be prepared for it to go wrong.
Correct. All right.
As long as
Disguises
you're
are done.
ready for
Do
that.
this.
If you do the throat thing, you should give yourself a Truth Initiative T-shirt, too.
Sure. A what?
Truth Initiative, that anti-smoking group.
So,
Don't smoke.
anyway,
Anyway,
It's bad for you.
moving on.
.org.
so
You'll die.
after you adorn your Shanian uniforms, are you approaching the city? Are you just, what are you doing?
Come on, guys. Let's approach.
When we're about an hour, not an hour, when we're about 30 minutes out, I would like to prepare the invisibility spell.
So, are you just walking? Are you walking through the desert itself, or were you headed towards that path? Which way were you going?
Oh wait, path? What path?
You with your
Through the
shitty investigation or perception rolls, you didn't really notice what it was, but you did notice there is in the distance off to your right-ish area. You did notice a kind of like a roadway that was headed towards the city. So do you want to go up the main roadway, or did you want to cut through the desert itself?
I think we should go for the roadway. I think it would definitely give us a bit of an advantage in trying to persuade them that we belong here.
While we're on the way, we should probably decide who's going to speak for the entourage.
Oh, son of a gun. How about you wear the hat of disguise? You can spend an hour tuning to it as we walk, I guess.
Do you remember that idea that we had originally to have one of the sections of the stream panel be where we could share gifts? We need that now, so
If
Oh,
we can
no.
set
everybody
that up,
can see what
yes.
we're laughing about.
So, are you giving?
Oh, hold on.
Okay.
And why
Wait,
is
we
everybody
should-
just willy-nilly throwing around my hat of disguise?
I think the idea to give me the hat of disguise
I
might
don't
be a
know.
problem. The reason I say that is because it's
I'm a
Not
giant
normal.
turtle.
for a giant turtle to walk into hell.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Gosh,
You're gonna
darn it.
stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, because that's the whole reason you kind of have it. So yeah, no, that's a good point.
I mean, if you have a tarp, I could turtle up and just get on the tarp. You could drag me in.
A tarp of disguise.
Just claim that I'm loot.
Unless you want to pretend to be a slave or something. That's the only other.
Ooh, can he wait?
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Can he be like
Yep.
a prisoner? Can we like disguise ourselves and like act like he's like
I don't think the
a prisoner or
shackles go
something?
around his wrist all the way.
No, I'm fine being the prisoner. Just call me number 6.
You got to do the double cuff thing that cops do with fat people.
Oh,
Okay.
like the those. But no, seriously, can we like maybe that's what we do though, because then someone else can use the hat. You know what I mean? Like we can
I don't-
pretend like he's
Yeah.
a prisoner.
I don't know that there would
Sounds
be a
good.
benefit for that though, because
I was making
Whether
a
I-
Wookiee reference, but we can go ahead and slam fat people too.
Yeah.
but
I call you prisoner 24601.
because I could, if I'm the lead delegate from Shan, I assume it wouldn't be unusual for me to be a human, right?
Okay, now that's fair. So what kind
As
of
long as they But like, would they recognize you if you were there for 2 years? Like, how long has that been? Would anyone recognize you?
That I don't know.
Are there any elves
Because
in Shan?
that's something to keep in mind is if you're familiar to anybody.
Well, I would assume I was an escaped prisoner, so I would probably not want to be recognized during my time there.
You would know of at least one wood elf from Shan.
Are they common
You don't know.
in Shan?
You know that
I'm gonna cut off a strip of my uniform and tie it around my head to cover up my ears.
you would know. Oh, you're spocking it.
Yeah, I'm spocking it.
Oh,
I'm gonna no. Gunbutt is Ramboing it. Okay.
Elric, that was a really good idea. You should do that too.
I thought
Wait, do I have pointy ears?
we just established
do.
that there were elves
Yes.
in Fran, or Shan.
You know that
One.
yeah.
I know there's one.
You know of at least one wood elf, but most of the soldiers that you've come across that you've fought have been either humans or dwarves. But
I spent 2 years fighting.
Yes, Butch, you would have seen the occasional elf. Again, not necessarily common. You would see the occasional elf and half elf, more half elves than full-blooded elves, but it's not unheard of that there are elves in Shan.
Well,
And
all
I'll
the
just
half
cover
elves
up
that I killed
mine
were
with my
basically
hair.
humans.
Well, I already ripped my uniform, so it's tied around my head.
Yeah, I'll just cover mine up with like my hair or something.
We have spares if needed.
wait,
Surely.
I have an idea.
You could wear a big floppy hat.
This is actually going to require DM interpretation.
Go for it.
So, I have the item Marvelous Pigments.
You do.
Ooh.
Is there a possibility that I could maybe at a less guarded or vigilant side of the wall of the city maybe paint an opening?
Look at a Looney Tunes set.
That's an amazing idea. We should totally try
Actually,
that.
I believe that it says that you can do that specifically in the Marvelous
You
Pigments.
have
The
to
heat
you have
and
to know
Wile
what it
E.
looks like
Coyote
on the
is
other
Elric.
side, though.
Yeah, you do.
You have to
Okay,
know what
hold
it
on.
looks like on the other side because you're not painting a hole. You're painting
Can you paint a door?
looking like a hole, so you have to have the background.
It does say
only you had a
you
familiar.
can. Okay, it does say that you can create an inanimate object such as a door, a pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms,
Door.
or weapons. So
Make a 2-inch door and open it up to 10 more inches of stone.
I mean, you would have to try it to see if it works, but
Wait.
If
Wait,
you
to
draw
that
enough
point,
doors,
but wait, could you also buy us time? Could he paint the hut to look like the desert, and then we could actually have the time to do the disguise kits?
I don't think so because you're not painting on an actual object. I don't think you can paint on a spell.
But doesn't the spell
Object once it
create
materializes.
an object that is then stationary?
I'm gonna say no. That's not how that works.
But
The
what if we
force
roll
view.
for it?
But-
what if
but-
we roll for it?
Okay,
19 or
okay,
20
so
and it
here,
works?
this is how it would work because Butch has to give people access to the spell, which means they would have to be able to penetrate through it. So if you want to make it so Elric cannot pass through the dome, then yes, he can paint on it. But that means Elric is stuck outside because otherwise Elric's just going to be trying to paint and his arm's just going to be going through the fucking dome constantly.
Let him wear the hat of disguise while he's painting, and
Oh
he
my
can
God, it
disguise
takes an
himself
hour.
as a tree.
Wait, do we still have
We're still gonna
invisibility?
be Ow.
Very artistic devil.
No, what? Do we have...
Put a
wait,
beret
don't we still have
on.
invisibility?
I put a beret on that devil.
I have invisibility
Or a big
that lasts
afro.
for an hour.
Paint in an hour?
Yeah, but then he's still stuck outside.
He's still
while
stuck
we
out
rest
for
and get
7 more
disguised.
hours.
Oh, shit. Damn it.
And even then, he
Yeah.
still can't rest. And then Butch will need the
Damn it, damn it,
disguise.
damn it.
And then we'll need another
Alright.
hour to get Alric in costume.
And while we're all
alright.
arguing in the
What's
desert
the
like
disc
minis, we get
theater
arrested.
department like?
Hey, Scott, do you remember how you were bitching about how on Critical Role they took an entire episode to plan something?
No.
From what I heard, you guys took an
We're
entire
I didn't know.
episode to abandon a fight. So, I mean, like,
With my headband on, I'm going to ask Orphocles to teach me colorful metaphors in Infernal.
Great.
So, what are you all? What's the plan?
Are we painting a wall on the wall, or painting a door on the wall, or are we just walking in and trying to find a place to squat?
I think the potential for all of the guards that would be at the opening that we would find, and them being able to see through our bullshit while we are this spent probably isn't a good idea.
Here's the problem with painting a door on the wall. They have guards on the walls. So they will almost certainly see us painting a happy tree on the side of their city.
and we paint on the guard and make them into a door, killing
But if-
them in the process.
But if I do it while I'm invisible,
Ooh.
You will be invisible, but the painted door that appears
Are
won't
they
be.
watching?
Will it?
okay,
The base
are
of the
they
wall, or just out?
are they on the top looking down, or are they actually patrolling on the outside?
I believe they're on top looking down.
I would like to drink my poison vial. Oh, that's the wrong campaign.
I already thought about jumping into the river Styx. All right.
So, what are you actually doing?
Yes.
I
All right,
say we potentially use our disguises, pretend to be an envoy, and then if that fails for any reason, we can proceed with the alternate plan.
Fantastic. So,
Yeah, let's go in there and try to find an abandoned building or something inside the city.
so are you approaching the city?
We gonna
So,
can Ethan
there's-
go first to see, like, to warn us of anything?
I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
can-
we have any hawks here, though.
While we're walking,
Or
let's
something
let's come
else?
up with a background story that everybody can agree
All
on.
right.
So,
Can I-
think
again,
we-
I'm asking, are you just cutting through the desert, or are you walking over to that main road?
We
to
should take
go
the
in?
path.
Yeah,
It's less conspicuous.
Main
if we take
road.
a path.
yeah, I'm all for it.
So
I
you
vote
walk
for the road.
You walk over towards that path that you saw from a distance, cutting through the landscape. And
I
once
want to change my disguise.
to
Before we get there, I want to look like a really vicious looking dragonborn
okay.
guy
So
who looks nasty and evil.
once you get closer to that path within a few hundred feet, you start noticing. At first it looked like just a carved, like, dust-ridden path. Then you get a little bit closer and you can make out more individual details, and it looks more like a cobblestone path. And you see the individual stones throughout. But then the closer you get, you realize that those are not cobblestones. Those are skulls. It is a path, a roadway paved in humanoid skulls.
That's a nice touch.
Would I know if these are the ones that get hot when you walk on them?
Everything gets hot when you walk on it.
Do they have a tourism department?
That's their slogan. Everything gets hot.
I just
you
remember
walk
from
on 'em.
notes that there was something about walking on the
Yes.
skull path and burning you
So,
or something.
No. Everything is hot. It's all hot. So
I'm full of energy.
you walk up to this path, turn towards the city, and you do see that the path winds down through an more straight line than winding directly down to the gates, to the wall, and you do notice a small gate. Like, it's probably a good mile or so out, but you do notice what appears to be like an opening in the wall where the path goes. As
So
you,
I think a good. Sorry,
what were you going to say?
I was saying I think a good cover story, so we're all on the same page when if we get asked questions, is that we're here to barter and purchase slaves, because that'll seem like a
Sounds
common
good to
thing
me.
for this city.
I say in Draconic.
We'd say we're getting slaves for the war effort.
So, as you start walking towards the city, you notice at first it almost doesn't seem like you're making much progress. You feel like you're not sure if the city is just farther away than you originally thought, or if there's some sort of barrier keeping you. You almost feel like there's a little bit of energy pushing against you, keeping you from the city, but you trudge through, you trudge on. You walk for another 15 minutes or so. You do notice that you are making progress, but not at a pace that you thought you would be. You realize that the city is just immensely larger than you originally thought, and it is just farther away than your perspective thought. You continue walking for another 15, 20 minutes. And then suddenly in a flash, you are inside the city. You look around, you look behind you, there is no wall, there is no gate. You are in a maze of alleyways and streets, a maze of these dark iron buildings that are raising up countless stories around you. Some smaller 2-3 story buildings, some taller 10+ story buildings. You look around and you don't see the edge anywhere. You are close to the center of the city, you think, but you really have no point of reference. You look off to the side and you see in the distance this tower, that looming tower. You look around, kind of adjust your gaze. You move from left to right. You look down another alley, and then at the tip of that alley, you see the looming tower again. But you just saw it over there. Now you're seeing it over here. You turn back.
So is it like mirrors, or is it like Inception where it's like appearing and a shifting, or is it like mirror images that adjust?
Everywhere you look, as soon as your focus, you shift your focus, the tower is there. You look left, the tower is there. You look right, the tower is there. You look forward, the tower is there. You turn around you, the tower is there. It looks like it's just a few miles off from you everywhere you look.
Like, so like a fun, so
if
sending
you-
in the center of like a fun house mirror.
Kind of.
Almost.
If you look,
It's the opposite.
if you hold your gaze at the tower, you hold your eye line specifically, you move your head slightly, and the tower, as long as the tower stays in your eye line, it stays still. It goes to your periphery and it stays where it is, but as soon as you lose it from your focus, it reappears on the other side.
If we all stand with our backs to one another,
All of you see the tower in a different location.
Now, I recently rewatched our first episode, so I know that Butch has a mirror. If I hold that mirror up, is there a tower in front of me and behind me?
No, there's no tower in the mirror.
None at all.
okay, but if he shifts around like to all of our perspectives, would he be able to see, like, would there be a perspective where he would, like, if we all stand with our backs to one another, like, if we pass that mirror around, would we be able to see it?
You never see a reflection in the mirror. You never see the tower in the mirror, only in your actual line of sight.
Are there any other landmarks that are doing something similar? Like, do we see any, like, this building has this, like, creepy, weird spire sticking out the top of it, and it's always in this location, or it's always moving? Is it just the tower?
It appears to be only the tower that is doing that.
Okay, wait. Do we have something? Or can Ethan, in some form, pick a direction so we can see if he is continuing on and going towards the tower? You know what I mean? So, like, if we still see the tower and then him in that same line of sight, would that be a way that we could figure it out?
So you send Ethan off, and Ethan does appear to be walking away from you towards the tower.
But Ethan is in also every reflection?
No. You turn your vision. The tower moves, but Ethan is still in the same location.
So this is the opposite of Sauron, because instead of Sauron seeing everyone else, it's everyone else can see the tower.
I think we all need to be looking in the same direction.
You all
One direction?
look, and another thing you notice as you're constantly trying to figure this out and you're looking at this tower, every couple minutes the shape of the tower changes. It goes from this spire, like base wider, that tapers up into this spire, to a dome. Then a few minutes later it changes to a straight cone. Then a few minutes later, the whole tower shifts again into almost like this upside down stalactite, wider at the top, narrower at the bottom. Then a few minutes later, it changes to almost like a stack of blocks, like jagged stack of rooms. A few minutes later, it changes again.
We're all seeing the exact same tower at the exact same time, change in the exact same way.
Correct.
I'm only asking because I didn't know if maybe we communicated with one another if we all saw something different. So that's why I was asking.
No, you all appear to be seeing the same changes, and you all appear to be seeing the same towers. But the towers.
Orpheus, is this what you were
changes.
expecting?
Yes, the place changes constantly.
But you were expecting it to be this constant, like without anything even pausing for a moment?
So, real Chris, no. So, Orpheus, yes.
So if we go in the buildings, are we going to find one of those staircases that goes up around all the outside walls, but then you end up back at the doorway?
Oh God! An
If we continue in our Looney Tunes-esque way, I'm sure that an opera song will also begin at the same time, and we'll never be able to cross ever again.
Pretty sure
just
that
constant stare running.
We're just going to get taken by devils while we stare like tourists.
In either case, we should try to find a building to squat in.
Sounds good.
Avoid any statues. They're all spy devices.
Oh boy.
Do the statues
should we
move
also
when
not
we're not
speak?
looking at them?
Oh God.
That I don't know.
No, thank you.
So to clarify, we should avoid eye contact, but should we also not speak to one another for now?
Don't speak.
Yeah. So there's no doubt what will happen to us.
Oh my God!
Scott started it. Okay.
Let's
You know
find
what I'm
a
thinking.
building.
All right, we'll take a look around as a unit.
Go ahead and make investigation checks to see if you can find a building to squat in.
24.
It's time to be Investiga awesome.
14.
Ah,
Okay, so that is a 21 for both Orpheus and Rhett, and a 24 for Rain, 14 for Arnon, 13 for Elric, and Butch has a 9. You kind of start walking through these alleyways. You do notice in the streets quite a few of these, like, different creatures. You see, the most common creature you see is this, like, bulbous mass, this kind of being that is like just this shapeless mass of flesh with these two arms that are almost like dragging it down the street, and this like kind of tight face emerging out of the top of it with like this kind of shrieking look to it. You see quite a few of these, most of which are being prodded and poked by other creatures, chained to these other creatures. You get a feeling that these are very, very low life forms in this area. You see those same bearded devils walking through the streets. You see every once in a while you notice what appears to be almost like this insectoid skeletal figure with these like bony wings and long scorpion-like tail walking through the streets. You hear them shrieking at these like bulbous creatures. You kind of duck through a couple of these alleyways, and it takes you a few minutes, but you do come across a building that appears to be more or less abandoned. All of the buildings in this area, all of the buildings that you've come across are that same black iron that radiate heat. You see, again, the kind of like heat lines warping the air, warping your vision. You put your hand up next to one of and you feel the heat radiating off of these buildings. But it does take you a few minutes before you find something that appears to be an abandoned building.
Is the heat as we approach the building unbearable, or is it just like, this shit's hot?
The air itself is really, really hot, but it's not causing any damage or anything just from the air itself. The closer you get to the walls, you do notice that it is, like I said, radiating off of that black iron. So, do you want to
are we basically
touch the iron?
Walk into an oven?
Can I do
Not if we put a tiny hut in it.
We will quickly become a hot pocket.
Can
we set up the tiny hut to where like it's right up in a doorway so we can walk into the building, but really we're just walking into the tiny hut where it's temperature controlled?
We should be able to.
Does the tiny well never mind.
So wait, does the tiny hut work like throwing your voice? You can throw the tiny hut like further away so then we can walk into it?
I assume there's a door,
No.
right?
He has to be inside it the whole
No.
time.
Oh shit.
Is there a door, or is it just a doorway?
The
No.
building or the tiny hut?
The building.
The building, yes, you
No.
do come across a doorway on the alley itself.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap my hand
What is
in
the door made of?
in a thick cloth or strip of leather.
The door's made of the same black iron as the rest of the building.
Well, okay, I can cool down the door. Like long enough for us to open it.
Give
I
it a
think
shot
we
as long as
just-
it won't draw attention to yourself.
Yeah, we should probably just stick with the leather.
All right. What would I, from my history here, would I know if this would work if I use something to cover my hand?
You would know that if you do it quickly, yes. As long as you're not in contact with it for too long, as long as you're completely covered, then yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that and make the attempt to open the door.
I can also create rain inside the building.
All right. Yeah, you do notice that door does open. It is not locked. And you open it up, and it does open into almost like a pretty blank square room. No real distinguishable features of this room.
Are there multiple levels, or is it just one?
Appears
one
to
level?
only be open to one room.
Okay.
Can we wrap up Butch's feet and lock him in? Tiny hut. Safety.
I mean, we're all wearing boots, I assume. So
I
I didn't know.
Do I wear
Butch actually
boots?
was.
Is
Oh, that's
is
a
Butch
good
barefoot?
point. Butch is barefoot.
That's what I was
Isn't he?
I've never needed.
I mean, he's in his devil disguise right now, right?
That's illusionary.
But can he fly?
If he go, how is his shell heat resistant? Can he go into his shell and we just push him into the center, and then he can just pop out
he's
tiny
been-
hut?
He's been walking on hot floor for a while.
He's been.
Oh no!
Don't retcon that, please.
All right, we'll.
Don't Mekon.
All right.
No.
Surely his feet are
Mekon.
thickly calloused,
Econ.
and his cold-blooded nature will
Yeah,
assist.
I would say.
I can't imagine Orpheus wouldn't have been like, "Hey, you should have some boots, turtle friend."
I would
You're
say
barefoot."
yes. On your 5-hour boat ride, you were able to fashion some even if they're just leather foot wraps or something for Butch to be able to.
I'll take it.
You can't. You would think that you would know well enough that you shouldn't stand in one spot for too long, but as long as you're keeping mobile, you would be okay.
All right. Well, I close the door behind us once we're all in the room. Again, covering my hand to do so. We should probably barricade the door before we do any resting.
Is the tiny hut
I'll
been cast?
I'll do the hut. I'll do the hut. It takes
Okay.
a while to do the hut because it's a ritual. I mean, I guess I could use a spell slot, but I'd rather save it for an emergency.
I thought it was 10 minutes, or is it not?
It's 10 minutes.
Okay. Do you have to stay in the same spot to do that though?
I do, so I should probably
So
get a
all right,
bedroll
so
or
I'm
something.
going to cool the cubic foot
Thank you.
around him so it doesn't impact his feet.
What are you using for that?
Hold on.
It's a bot spell called Cool Cubic Foot.
Fingers.
Okay, so you attempt to use your fancy fingers to cool the spell. However,
Oh no.
you've never dealt with this kind of heat before. And while it does cool it slightly, you are in hell, and it's not going to make a big enough difference to where...
You're right,
Can
Nick.
she do that?
I am in hell.
Can she do that? And then I also create and freeze water under him at the same time?
You
By our
are
powers
not going to
combined?
be able to freeze anything in this heat. It will instantly
Hold on.
vaporize.
Hold on.
All right, I think
Think about
I'm gonna have to do the. I look like I got a pee shuffle.
Okay.
Can you fly? Can you hover while you cast?
I mean,
No.
Damn.
I mean, one potential alternative is no, I don't have the spell slot left. Damn. I guess I can use the pearl. Have I used the pearl?
No, you should save it. You
But
guys could lift me and just carry me in a circle.
I will cool his burning feet with an icy song. Island song.
with a tropical island song.
Does Ray of Frost accomplish anything in the situation?
It'll cool me down and damage me.
Well, we do have a bunch of armor and gear that we brought for the prison break, right? Potentially, we could bring out like a breastplate or a shield, put it on the ground. You could use your cross spell to make it
breastplate.
nice and cold. And hopefully that would last 10 minutes.
Just keep casting the cantrip.
Just you
Cool
keep
down
doing
the
it.
middle. Yep.
Something.
You guys, through all of this, are able to keep you from taking too much damage while you are.
See, Nick, we just don't. We
Nick-
don't
Nick
trust
says
you
mercy,
to not kill
mercy.
and hurt
You
us.
just gotta tell us when we've got it.
All right, Nick, how much
Otherwise, we'll
damage
keep
do I
going.
take?
Roll initiative.
We've been hurt. We've been
You can tell
hurt.
me.
We've been burned
take
by you before.
5 points of fire damage while you are
All right.
casting that.
All right. We should work on barricading the door.
Done.
Is there an obvious way we could fashion something to barricade the door?
That's what the hut does.
Yeah, if you set the hut up in the right position, it can more or less barricade the door.
I mean, I'm
Okay.
not a genius, but I'm not stupid. I can count footsteps. Hot footsteps.
Sweet.
So,
Let's put down some bedrolls and hope they don't catch fire.
as you
Well,
guys,
It's temperature controlled per
It is.
my Google search.
it is temperature
Right,
controlled
right.
inside the hut. So once you enter the hut, you do notice a more temperate climate. So you are
Everybody
a lot
hydrate.
more comfortable.
The jug. Hydrate.
I should
Milk was a bad choice.
probably.
Milk was a bad choice.
I should probably attune to the amulet.
I saw a billboard on the road that
Yes.
actually says that milk is more hydrating than water, which I'm sure is not true, but the billboard said so.
I
Did we-
just want to say that we are still on the 6th, which means we have 4 full days, the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, that we cannot use the amulet, and then the 11th we can.
Yeah, but Orphocles knows about portals here. That's how he got home.
I'm just saying, because he said he was attuning to the amulet, it's just a reminder. We still got-
Technically, Orphocles bartered his way back, if I remember correctly. It wasn't a
Theseus?
portal.
I snuck out with a
Yeah.
smuggling party.
Nice work,
I'll be
Orifice.
right
Did
back.
we?
Although I don't know if that means they use the portal or not. I don't know
It
how
was
you get out of here.
It
on
was
foot.
more of a teleportation style spell that took you out.
Is
Okay.
there-
Teleportation's high level.
I don't remember if this is
Plane shift esque type thing.
of Orpheus or anyone, but did we determine whether or not when we find Gwen, if she would be able to be teleported?
What Nick said before is that we would have to bring her physically back with us.
So we have to like walk her out?
Yeah, it sounded like she could go through whatever doorway we could go through, but we had to physically travel her. It's not like when we released her from the prison and she was released.
So we can't bamf with the amulet when we find her?
I suppose
You
that
You,
is
can
the
you,
try.
you know, you son of a bitch. Like, don't go
Bad right
shrugging
now?
around.
With our luck, we'll just end up.
You
in
know what?
another
Don't
layer
go
of hell.
shrugging around, or I'm going to share that yearbook picture so hard.
Hey now.
the last thing you
I have those
ever
yearbooks
want to do.
Fuck.
You never ever threaten the DM. Good God.
I would like to put on record I did not.
Who knew?
I just was upset. That was it. I kept it inside.
Yeah, you know what? I said something in the heat of the moment because we're in hell. Okay? It's very hot.
So,
The moment,
speaking of the heat of the moment, as you all
In
in your
moment.
nice climate controlled tiny hut decide to take your rest for the night, that is where we will end it and pick up next week.
do we have any lemonade in here?
Alchemy jug.
I can make some.
Lemons? Like, do you carry, like, hell, like,
I can
do you
create
have
a
hell
yellow
lemons or
liquid
hell
that you
citrus?
are welcome to pretend is lemonade.
It's probably very yellow after this heat.
Just do some purify water and food.
There you
and,
go.
This is
I
not
have
Kevin
that.
Costner's Waterworld. That is not what this is.
Hey, they do it on the space station. If it's good enough for astronauts, it's good
You
enough.
sure?
for you.
Because I might have a vagina behind my ear.
Oh.
On that note, we're going to end it for the night. So,
Fuck.
What just happened?
thank you all.
Quotable entertainment.
Thank you all for joining us and sticking
Thanks
with
to
us
Volge
on
Quickly
this
with our wholesome turtle.
somewhat shorter episode, but it's 11:15 and we're at a stopping point, so we're going to end it here. And we will pick up next week on Tuesday at 8:30 Eastern for our last live show before the our last streaming show before our in-person. And see what happens with this group now that they have finally made it after a 3 or 4 day detour in the Hells. Have finally made it to their original destination.
Just 3 or 4 days.
Just 3 or 4, no big deal. So
4 more days.
if you haven't, make sure to like and subscribe on all streaming social platforms. And we will see you next week.
Where it would be a real shame if we rolled some natural ones.
Congratulations, you just jinxed yourself. So,
Oh boy.
thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week.